Hello, my name is Mrs. Waddell and I'll be talking to you about music as a GCSE option. The exam board that we follow at Ragate School is EDUCAS GCSE Music. There are 3 main units of work, although this is a linear course which results in one final grade. 30% is performing, 30% composing, and 40% listening and appraising. The listening and appraising is an exam, but it is a listening exam based on 4 areas of study that we cover throughout the GCSE for performance, composing, and listening. It is one exam. There are 8 questions, and we learn, it's a listening exam, so we do listen to music throughout the exam and answer questions about the music that we hear. 30% of the course is performance. It is on an instrument or voice of a student's choice, 15% ensemble performance, and 15% ensemble 2 or a solo performance. There is composition coursework, so writing our own songs, 30% of the overall GCSE grade. Again, it's 15% times 2, 15% of free choice composition, and 15% composing to a set brief set by the exam board. We have 4 main areas of study that we cover. Area Study 1 is musical forms and devices, Area Study 2, music for ensemble, Area Study 3, film music, and Area Study 4, popular music. So for the performance coursework, it's worth, as I said, 30%. Students do choose their own instrument. So it can be an instrument, it can be voice, but it is their 100% choice. All students must do at least one ensemble or group performance. If you're a singer, that often means a duet, or in a choir performance, a small choir performance. If you're an instrumentalist, that usually means that you're playing as part of a band. So for example, if you're a guitarist, you might play in a band setting with your peers as the guitarist in that song. Performances are recorded live with the teacher. Although I encourage students to get comfortable with performing in front of others, the performance coursework is done in a recording studio setting and not in front of others. Lessons on the instrument or voice are encouraged, but they are not mandatory. If you are interested in playing an instrument, or you already play an instrument, the standard level of performance of the 2 pieces that you would need to perform for GCSE music is about grade 3 equivalent. Now, this does not mean that you need to take a grade 3 exam, but that's kind of the level 4 standard if you're thinking about in the next 3 years, do I think that I can play a piece at grade 3? If so, great, this is a fantastic option for you. As I said, another 30% is composition. Students are going to write 2 songs in their time as GCSE music students. One will be in any style they like, and we do a lot of this in year 10 of this composition. We finish it in year 11. So students can choose popular music, electric dance music, film music, classical music, any style of music that they enjoy and feel that they can be successful in. They can write any song in any style. The second composition, worth the second 15%, will be chosen from one of 4 set briefs that the exam board releases in September of year 11. So the exam board will give an option for each of the 4 areas of study. Students will choose one of those options. They're entirely free to choose whichever one of those 4 that they want. And then they will do a second composition to that set brief. So a set brief might be compose music for an action sequence with a car chase. And students would go ahead and think about different elements they might use and compose in that style. So composition is worth 30% of the overall GCSE grade, 15% for each composition. To compose at Ragate School, we use a combination of notation and digital audio workstation software like GarageBand. We use Soundtrap currently to compose with. So students don't have to write their composition out in music notes, but we are going to be working at software that will help to do that. Just to make things easier, I mean, at the end of the day, if students would like to be able to use notation, that is available. Listening and appraising, the other 40%, students are going to listen to a wide range of musical genres, everything from Baroque music from the 1600s all the way to music that you would listen to today. The focus is on identifying musical elements, so can they describe the music that they hear? Things like dynamics, how loud and quiet, tempo, the texture, the structure of pieces when listening to a new piece of music, maybe one they've not heard before. So the written exam is worth, as I said, 40% of the overall GCSE. It's 96 marks in total. There are 8 pieces of music that students will listen to throughout the course of the exam. 6 of them we will not have heard before. 2 of them we will have studied in depth throughout year 10 and year 11. 2 set works that will be studied in depth are Bach's Badineri and Toto's Africa. So key attributes. If you're thinking about taking a GCSE music, you might have some of these attributes. You might play an instrument already and or sing. Even if you don't take formal lessons, maybe you've been messing about with a guitar over the last couple of years and you really enjoy it, or we've been learning in music lessons about keyboards, maybe you've been enjoying that. Maybe you sing, that's absolutely fine. Any instrument can be used, everything from drum kit to guitar to voice to cello, clarinet, any instrument is fair game. Key attributes also include having an interest in listening to a variety of music. So being interested in listening to music that maybe don't fit the top 40 charts, although those we do cover as well. Do you like to think creatively? Do you like to come up with your own ideas? Do you like to mess about with writing your own songs? Do you get involved in after-school clubs? Things like choir, like band. Do you get involved with making music outside of our normal music lessons? If so, then this might be a really good option for you. One of the best things about GCSE music is that it's not 100% exam-based. You'll walk into that exam at the end of year 11 having a very good idea of 60% of your mark already. So the stakes are quite a bit lower for the exam itself, and we do have that freedom and flexibility to tailor the coursework around your interests and your talents. So a typical week of music lessons in a GCSE might include practicing some music either as a band or as a soloist, depending on what we're working on at that point. We will be learning how to read notation, music notes, and about the different musical elements over the course of year 9 and year 10, hopefully being able to be really confident with that by the end of year 11. Listening activities based on the 4 areas of study from all types of genres, and then improvising and composing tasks linked to the areas of study. So reminder that musical forms and devices with a focus on Baroque, classical, and romantic music, music for ensemble with a focus on blues and jazz, musical theatre, and chamber music, film music, pretty self-explanatory, and popular music. So this is everything from essentially from rock and roll to present day. We do go on trips. As a music department, we are involved in Voice in a Million, so that will be one that we always do, and the students have a fantastic time. We've performed on stage in the past as well. West End show, we'll often go to a West End show, especially for our musical theatre portion of the course. And then there's the performing arts trip abroad. Frequently asked questions. Do you have to sing? No, you do not have to sing. You can perform on any instrument that you choose. Do you have to perform in front of people for your coursework? It is recorded in the studio with just myself. Obviously, if you're performing as an ensemble, it's with your ensemble members as well. But I will encourage students, if they so wish, to perform as part of after-school clubs and in groups. But no live performance in front of a large audience is not mandatory. Do I have to know how to read music? Nope, you don't have to know how to read music, but we will be learning how to do that throughout the course. So a lot of year 9 is just reviewing how to read notes, how to listen for different things, talking about the musical elements. We do spend a fair amount of time learning how to read music so that you're confident and you have that as a tool to use for composing and for performing with. Do you have to take voice or instrument lessons? It's not required to take a GCSE music, but it will help for the performance requirements of the course, those 30% performance requirements. With one music teacher and a class full of students who are learning and working on a variety of different instruments, it's always good to have a specialist on that instrument to support. If that's not an option, then that's absolutely fine. It just will require some extra practice at home, because a lot of the homework that we do is just practicing on your instrument on the pieces that we are working on in lesson. So I hope that's answered your most burning questions, frequently asked questions there. Different careers that use music. Obviously, performers are some, composers, film composers, video game composers, classical composers as well, yes. Composers for popular music as well. Someone's got to write the guitar parts and the drum kit parts. Recording engineer, this is a fantastic and hugely lucrative career at the moment. A music producer is involved in all aspects of producing a recording. And then artist or tour manager, it is really, really helpful to have an understanding of music in order to successfully manage a tour and successfully manage a musical artist as well. So I hope that's answered your questions. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact me at any time. It's Mrs. Waddell at Reigate School. Happy options choosing.